Yahushua versus Yeshua, and the rest of the names.
For more content in production, please subscribe to our channel and give us a like. Thank you. We'll begin.
Nowadays, the rebirth of the Hebrew roots has grown immensely. Today, the revival of Hebrew roots has exploded. From the 1995s to the 1998s, the prophecies that were spoken by our fathers are being fulfilled to the letter. But there have been problems in returning to the old path. Many Christians and Protestants who are in the process of returning to the original faith have fallen into Judaic pretensions, thinking that Yahweh speaks in the Torah, Hebrew scriptures. In this video, we will explore the reason for the true name of Mashiach, Messiah, and how his name was mistakenly taken without knowing, or do more in-depth research on the matter. In this episode, we will explore why Joshua, one of the most important commanders in the nation of Israel, has been remembered so far. Joshua was a major figure in the events of the Exodus. He was charged by Moses with selecting and commanding a militia group for their first battle after exiting Egypt against the Amalekites in Rephidim, in which they have triumphed. The Hebrew scriptures identify Joshua as one of the 12 spies of Israel sent by Moses, to explore the land of Canaan. In Numbers 13:1, and after the death of Moses, he led the Israelite tribes in the conquest of Canaan and allocated lands to the tribes. According to scriptural chronology, Joshua lived sometime in the Bronze Age. Numbers 13:2. Send men for you, and they shall spy out the land of Canaan which I am giving to the sons of Israel. You shall send one man for the tribe of his fathers, one man, everyone a leader among them. The Talmud states unequivocally, all the prophets prophesied only for the days of the Messiah. 1992, page 22. Numbers 13:16. These were the names of the men whom Moses, sent to spy out the land. And Moses, called Hoshi the son of Nun, Yeshua. Original word transliteration, Hoshea. Definition, Hosea. Salvation, the name of several Israelites. By adding the letter Yod in the beginning of his name, and uniting the beginning of the name of Yahweh. Moses, wanted to shield Yahushua spiritually so that he wouldn't defile himself with the other 10 spies. Moses knew that Yahushua would enter the people Israel to the promised land at the end. Transliteration, Yahushua. Definition, Joshua. Yahweh is salvation, the successor of Moses. The letter Yod and the letter He becomes part of the name of Yahweh. The original word is Hoshea, but when Moses added the letter Yod becomes Yahushua, which means Yahweh will save. Let's find out more on the matter, shall we? We'll go to the prophet Ezra. We'll see more evidence on the name and its transformation. The book of Ezra is a book of the Hebrew scriptures, who previously included the book of Nehemiah in a single book, commonly distinguished in scholarship as Ezra-Nehemiah. The two were separated with the first printed rabbinical scriptures of the early 16th century, following the late medieval Latin Christian tradition. Composed in Hebrew and Aramaic, its theme is the return to Zion after the end of the Babylonian captivity. Along with the book of Nehemiah, it represents the final chapter of the historical narrative of the Hebrew scriptures. Point 6. The book of Ezra is divided into 2 parts. Ezra 3 verse 2. Then Yeshua the son of Jozadak stood up, and his brothers, the Kohanim, priests. As we see in the book of Ezra, it was written not only in Hebrew but also in Aramaic. Here in this verse, he is called in Aramaic, Yeshua. but actually, its original name is Yahushua. Zechariah's prophecies took place during the reign of Darius the Great and were contemporaneous with Haggai in a post-exilic world after the fall of Jerusalem, in 587 to 586 BC. Zechariah 3 verse 1, And he made me see Yeshua the Kohen Haggadol, high priest, standing before the Malach, messenger of Yahweh. Here we find out the certain veracity, the Kohen, priest, that is mentioned in Ezra and the Kohen, priest, here in Zechariah, are the same individual. His name is Yahushua. As we mentioned before, the Torah and the Yehudim, Jews, all the prophets prophesied only for the days of the Messiah. 1992, page 22. There are 28 copies of the Book of Matthew. Shem Tov's Hebrew Gospel of Matthew is the oldest extant Hebrew version of the Gospel of Matthew. It was included in the 14th century work Eben Bone, the Touchstone, by the Spanish Jewish Rabbi Shem Tov ben Isaac ben Shaprat. When the Mashiach, Messiah, was born, the Malach angel spoke to Yahoseph giving instructions on what he'll name the child. In the Shem Tov says this, Matthew 1 verse 21, And she will bear a son, and you shall call his name Yeshua, for he shall save his people from their sins. Matthew 1 verse 25, he called his name Yeshua. Strong's 2424. Isis, the transliteration of the Hebrew term, H3091, Yahushua, contracted to Joshua, which means Yahweh saves, or Yahweh is salvation. The Hebrew word Moshiach means Savior. The Hebrew word Yasha means to save. Let's conjugate words and terms. One thing is for salvation to come to my life, and another for me to give salvation. The root verb we'd seen from the beginning of this video was Hashiach, which means to save. For many on purpose, they write it wrong. First of all, the Yod and the He is the acknowledgement of the names of all the names, Yahweh. All those who write Yeshua is because they do not acknowledge his name, Yod, He. Yahweh. John 5 verse 43. I have come in the name of my Father, and you do not receive me. If another comes in his own name, you will receive that one. Toda Rabba. If you like this video, please give us a like and subscribe to our channel. There's more content in production. Thank you.